Hey friend, welcome back to our channel where I inspire your desire to be great, to be great, to be great. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Hey, my name is Christina. For those of you that don't know me, welcome to my channel. To my amazing supporters, thank you guys so much for all of your amazing support. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so very much. And we're gonna get into this video. So as y'all can tell by the title of this video, it is another get ready with me video. I want to do more and more of these videos, as I told y'all, and just try to talk about like different topics while I'm getting ready, just for the fun of it. So before we get into it, today is Wednesday, October 12th. It's currently 3:28 p.m. I got to hurry up and get dressed, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So in this series, as y'all will see, or in this part, in this video, I'm gonna talk about like toxic friendships and toxic relationships. I do have a video on like getting out of a toxic relationship, so y'all could go and check that out if y'all interested in how to get out of a toxic relationship. But I wanted to touch on like both spectrums of relationship and friendships, because I feel like it's not only friendships, it's not only relationships that can be toxic, but friendships can also be toxic, and we don't even realize it. So to start off, the first thing I'm going to talk about is like how to recognize if you are in a toxic friendship, in a toxic relationship, however you want it to, whichever category, because again, like I said, it can apply to both, where you are in a toxic friendship and in a toxic relationship. So I feel like a toxic friendship or a toxic relationship, because I've been in both. I've been in a toxic relationship, I've been in a toxic friendship. I could be very honest, there was a time my marriage was kind of toxic and it was on the verge of staying that way, but you have to recognize it, you have to talk about it. And I feel like if you recognize that you are in a toxic friendship, relationship, marriage, whatever the dynamics may be, and you talk about it, you address it, you can actually save that friendship, save that marriage if you recognize it. But sometimes you don't recognize it and it end up kind of dying a natural death. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all can relate to where y'all have been in like a really good friendship, a really good relationship, and then all of a sudden like things just start going wrong. You know, when you don't really know what to do, you don't really know how to handle it, you don't really know how to go about it, if I may say. You know, so I'll start off by saying how you know like if you're in a toxic situation. Let's call it that. Relationship, friendship, marriage, whichever one. Toxic situation is if you find yourself like after engaging with that person, you feel drained, you feel less than, you feel so down. That could be a sign of that situation being toxic. So a lot of the times what leads to toxic friendship, toxic relationship is y'all not talking about like a problem, or talking about something that makes you feel uncomfortable, or talking about something that you disagree with, if that makes sense. So a relationship or a situation that is not toxic is a situation where you can freely address issues, address certain things. And I feel like sometimes we don't really know the difference. Sometimes we're not really taught the difference because we're so caught up into whatever it is that we are into. So that's the first way. I'm gonna
be quiet real quick. I'm about to do my brows and then I'm gonna talk again, because as y'all see in the last video, I was really struggling to talk and do my brows at the same time, and it took me way longer. So I'm gonna do my brows because y'all know I talk with my hands and my eyebrows be raising and stuff because I get super passionate when I talk. So give me 30 seconds. I'm about to do my brows and then we're gonna finish this juicy topic.
Alright, so I'm done drawing on my brows. Now I just gotta contour, and then we could get further into the conversation. put my contour thingy on, so I'm gonna blend it while we are talking. So back to what I was saying about being in a toxic friendship, toxic relationship. First, you got to be aware that you are in it. That's the first sign to figuring out how to deal with it, is being aware. So as I was saying, if y'all are always arguing, always fighting, always disagreeing, if someone makes you feel not comfortable to address their mistakes or let them know that, hey, you know, you did this to me and I didn't like it, that's a toxic friendship. That's a toxic relationship, because that means you can't speak up for yourself, you can't speak up for your well-being, and that's not a situation that you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, right? So there's a proverb that says in the New Living Translation, arguments separate friends, and it's so true. If you are always arguing, if you find yourself continuously arguing with somebody, continuously disagreeing with somebody, that is a toxic friendship. And sometimes I know it's hard to accept and move on that, you know what, me and this person don't see eye to eye, me and this person don't agree, because I used to be that person. Like, I used to have a hard time accepting that, you know, someone don't see where I'm coming from, someone don't understand where I'm coming from. But I feel like once you can accept that and learn to realize everybody's not meant to be your friend, everybody's not meant to be in your life, everybody's not meant to be a part of your journey or a part of where you are going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember there was this girl, I actually used to work with her, and like one day we just had to have a mutual conversation and just talk and say, you know, we can't be friends. Like, and it was hard, but we had to do it. Like, she was a cool girl, she was a nice girl, but we really just disagreed on a lot. Like, every single time I talked to this girl, it was always a problem, it was always an argument, it was always somebody did this to her, somebody did that to her. She always had boy problems, and the thing for me is, like, my breaking point sometimes with friendships at times, relationships at times, if you keep coming to me with the same problem and never take my advice and my solutions or my suggestions, I can't be friends with you, because now you're wasting my time, you're draining my energy, I feel like. And I also kind of feel like you're using me in a sense, like you're being disrespectful. You're not respectful of my perspective on things or on me really trying to help you as a friend, and I can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I remember, like I said, there was one girl, our friendship was really toxic. She was my coworker originally, and then I was trying to build a friendship with her because it was me, her, and this other girl, y'all. And she had the nerve to tell us one day that she was the glue that kept our friendship together. Like, that's how high she thought of herself. And it was just like, baby, no, you're not. Like, every single time there's an argument, there's a disagreement, it's all because of you. So how are you keeping our friendship together? If anything, you're making this a more toxic situation, a more toxic bond, a more toxic environment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, toxic relationship, anything, any situation that makes you feel drained by the time you're done, let it go, y'all. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Sometimes it's hard to let go, you know, because we try to see the good in people and give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, that was a weakness that I used to have. I always tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I realized sometimes I gotta give myself the benefit of the doubt and just say they're not good for me. You know what I'm saying? And accept that. Like I said, it can be hard sometimes, but let go of toxic friendships, toxic relationships, especially if y'all always arguing, if y'all always disagreeing. Sometimes take a step back. You know, you can't always be in each other's face. Sometimes you need to give each other time to miss each other. You know, that's another thing. Like, if you always around somebody 24/7 in their face, 24/7, you gonna wear that person out. You know what I'm saying? You gonna wear out your welcome. And I don't know, those friendships, those relationships, they just don't usually go good. So yeah, if you are in a toxic friendship, toxic relationship, identify it, try to make it work at first, and if it don't work, just give yourself time, give yourself grace to let it go, because it's not healthy for you, especially if by the time you're done, like I said, you feel drained. Like, I've had those relationships, those friendships where, like, you know, because that's another thing. If someone is using you, that's a toxic friendship. I don't care how you put it, how you go about it. If it's one-sided, if you're putting into that friendship more than you are getting out of it, that's a toxic friendship. And you just have to see it. You just have to realize it. It's something that I had to learn over a period of time, and it's not easy to recognize. It's not easy to see, but get rid of those toxic friendships, y'all. Get rid of those toxic relationships. And
the thing I'm gonna go into, because I talked about like the friendship part. So friendship, sometimes you just come to a mutual agreement, talk to someone and just say, you know what, you a cool person, all this whoop-de-woo, but we not gonna make the best of friends, and that's cool, and you just kind of go your separate way and lose contact with each other. You know what I'm saying? As far as a relationship now, if y'all want like full details on that, like I told y'all could go watch the relationship one on how to get out of a toxic relationship. Like, my biggest thing sometimes is just cut the person off. Give yourself enough time to get over them and to get past them.
And then as far as like a marriage is concerned, because I feel like this is a good one. So as I told y'all, once upon a time, my marriage was toxic, and on both ends, my husband and my end. I'm sure he's not going to mind me talking about this. And one day we just had to sit down and realize, like, okay, what is it that's making our marriage toxic? Why are we always arguing? Why are we always fighting? Why are we always disagreeing? And once you identify those things, you tell the person, okay, hey, when you do this, it triggers these feelings, these emotions inside of me, and it makes me act this way. You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa, you got to be willing to listen to the other person. What is it that I do that makes you want to argue with me, cuss me out, call me names, put me down, all this wild, crazy stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, identify those things and work on stop doing those things, if that makes sense. Because sometimes we think it's just the other person, but it's a two-way thing. And as long as y'all both willing to work on it, willing to talk about it and move past it, then I feel like your relationship can definitely work. Your marriage can definitely work. But yeah, that's because, okay, there's some situations that are toxic that you just have to let go and be like, okay, this ain't never gonna work, this ain't never gonna change, we ain't never gonna see eye to eye. There's some situations that's toxic and you're like, we could make this work, but we have to sit down, we have to talk about it, we have to work at it, we have to work through it. And I feel like marriage is one of those things where you can make it work. It's just you identifying, okay, what is it that you do that I don't like? What is it that I do that you don't like? And you just have to be willing to stop doing those things for the sake of peace, for the sake of happiness, for the sake of a better marriage, for the sake of a better relationship, if that makes sense. Yeah, because that's something that I had to do, something that I had to learn. Yeah, so that's my spiel, I would say, on toxic, like, situations, if that makes sense. Some of them you just have to get out, others you just have to work at it. And you know, if your significant other don't like something, don't force them to like it. Don't try to change them into liking it. Don't force it on them, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Work on not doing the things that you know that they genuinely do not like, and it will bring you a peaceful, happier home, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but you also have to know how to like pick your battles, if that makes sense. Like, that's the biggest thing in friendships, in marriage, in relationships, is picking your battle. You gotta know everything is not worth arguing about. You gotta look at some things and be like, okay, let me just overlook this, brush it off, and say just whatever and keep it moving. Also understanding that things are temporary. Like, some of the weaknesses that I had when I first got married are not the same weaknesses that I have now. You outgrow certain things. You learn to be better. You watch your significant other. They are better at some things than you are, and you kind of take notes from them and learn from them. You know what I'm saying? And you outgrow those weaknesses. So I feel like that's another thing. Like, if you're in a toxic situation, give it time. Either it's going to die a natural death, or it's just a storm that's going to end up passing in your marriage or your situation, and you just have to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at a place now, sometimes if I see my husband do stuff, I'll be like, I just can't wait for that season to pass. That's how I look at it. It's like, okay, I can't wait for him to just outgrow this. It's just a little thing that he's going through. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in a toxic situation, analyze it, try to make it work at first. If you can't make it work, let it go. And I'll be honest as well, letting it go is the hardest thing. And that's the other thing too. You gotta weigh the pros and the cons, right? I think I told y'all this before, but I'm open. Like, I like being transparent with y'all because I feel like transparency helps. It helps you connect to people more. So when we first got married, like in the beginning of our marriage, we was on the verge of getting a divorce, right? And we had to sit down and weigh the pros and cons. Like, okay, if you get a divorce, what is it that you're losing versus what is it that you're gaining? And sometimes you have to do the same thing with the friendship.
You have to sit back and say, okay, if I separate myself or I let go of this friendship or this relationship, what am I gaining? What am I losing?
If you're gonna be more peaceful, if you're gonna be happier, less drained, things like that, like, you gotta count the cost of what this relationship means to you. And I feel like the biggest thing that someone sat down with us and let us know, like, the cost of us getting a divorce was way more than us staying together. Like, what we could do staying together was way more beneficial, and it was way more valuable staying together than us getting a divorce. So that's pretty much like how I would say you analyze and you help yourself deal with toxic situation, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage, is you gotta count the cost. And depending on what the cost is, like what it's going to cost you, what it will bring you, what you will gain from it, that's how I would determine if I stay or if I go. Even with my friendships now, like, I know what I bring to my friendships, and I know what value my friendships add to me, if that makes sense. And it's the same thing with relationships. Relationship could be family, it could be a significant other, even with my own family. I know the value that my relationship with certain family members bring with me. I'm not connected to every single person in my family, and y'all can relate to this. We all aren't connected to every single person in our family, but even in a family, you have to determine, what does this relationship bring to me? What boundaries do I have to set? Is it worth staying together, sticking together with this family member, spending that much time with them, or do I just separate myself amongst them? So I'm pretty much done talking, y'all. This was a good topic. I'm happy I talked about it. Comment below if y'all can relate to anything that I am saying. I gotta go get dressed now. My makeup is done. And I just gotta go put my outfit on. I'm gonna go get dressed, show y'all what I'm wearing and stuff like that. And then this video won't be a wrap. Alright, y'all, so I am officially done getting dressed. I'm about to show y'all my outfit real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up this video. Alright, so y'all know it's fall. I got my bag, my pink bang, and then these boots on, and that's my outfit, y'all. There's my outfit. My makeup is super light. I ain't do nothing extravagant, just some eyeshadow, a little bit of that on my brows, mascara, oh, and the lip combo, y'all know, and my hair. And that's pretty much it.
So that wraps it up for this video, y'all.
If you are in a toxic situation, friendship, relationship, marriage, analyze it, weigh the pros and cons, and either do your best to fix it, make it work, or just get out. You know, so thank you guys for watching. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Also, before I close it out fully, comment below topics that y'all want me to talk about in my Get Ready With Me videos and story times, because I want to do more of those videos. So and y'all also seem to like it, so I want to continue doing them because it goes hand in hand with how the direction that I want my channel to go into. So that is all I have for y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video where I inspire your desire to be great, to be great, to be great. Bye.